What's going on, guys? My name is Dan Davis and I'm the creative director here on DansTube.TV, which is Australia's #1 ranked drone YouTube channel. And today I'm checking out the DJI Power 1000. The DJI Power 1000 is an absolute beast. There's no denying it, but it's probably overkill for a lot of people. And even for myself, it's definitely overkill. It's got so much juice in here. You can run all sorts of appliances, ideal for the type of people who are adventurers. You're camping, you're fishing, you're out and about exploring in rural areas where you don't have any sort of power. This is something you will definitely want to pick up. But I've really been enjoying testing this out, putting it through its paces, running a bunch of different appliances, and just seeing how well the charge goes on it. So first things first, you can see nice big power button up here that's nice and bright and lights up this gorgeous display. It gives us a percentage, it gives us input in watts and output in watts. There's also a little like percentage icon down here, and as you start plugging things in, it will give you a rating, like an hour rating of how long at that output is the device going to be able to output. So let's say, for example, we've got, a few drone batteries charging and it gives us an output rating of, let's say, 160 watts, for example. It might say, oh, this is going to run for 9 hours at this rate. And then as you start adding other things in, it's going to change the output and then it will give you an updated rating. So really intuitive and simple display. So we've got two AC ports here, and I can press the AC button here, which will power those two on. You can't individually power one or the other. It just basically powers on both when you power it on. And then from there, we've got two USB-As, and we've got two USB-Cs here. We've then also got the charging option. It only takes 70 minutes. 70 minutes, that's it, to fully charge up the unit. Here's the point here. So you can either go with a 1200 watts or 600 watts when you're charging up the unit. And then there's two proprietary DJI charging options here. So this is kind of their standout offering. There will be a whole network of different accessories that you can get. This is one of them here. This is for your Mavic 3, and this is the bright orange SDC connecting point here. So we've got SDC and SDC Lite, and then once it plugs in, so I'll just quickly show you. So we'll plug into just the standard SDC. I have got a Mavic 3 battery here, so we'll slot that in on top. It will start charging, and then the output's going to go up. So I can see that if I just leave it for a second, it's gone up to 60 watts so far. We're up to 60, 70, it's climbing, it's still climbing, 80 watts. Okay, 80 watts, still climbing, 90 watts. And it's saying, still going, 100, 120, huge, right? Huge, like it's going to charge my battery like that. And that's where it's a huge calling card, especially because it's designed for DJI drones. So you can get a bunch of these different SDC options, these proprietary cables that can work with all sorts of drones and accessories and whatnot. So this one here, like I said, for the Mavic 3, we're up to 146 watts for the output, which is huge. It's going to charge in a matter of a few minutes, really, because it's nearly charged. So nice, but it saves a lot of time when you're out and about, especially when you got something like this. I was out yesterday with a friend with Aerial Pixel, and we were flying some FPV drones. We had both of our batteries plugged in, charging up while we're flying, and then by the time that we'd done our rotation of batteries, the other batteries were already charged, ready to go. So it's super fast when it comes to those kind of scenarios. It's saying here at this output, we're getting 5 hours. It's going between 5 and 4 hours, so it's roughly letting us know what to expect. At the top, we've also got an additional percentage rating there. So that's just with one accessory plugged in. I've got the Avata 2 on top, and we're going to charge these batteries here. So I think, we'll have to charge this one, the other two. So let's plug that in. We've got one that needs to be charged, connect it straight in to the AC, power that on, and I can plug it in like so, and it will start charging very soon. So there we go. You'll see that the output will increase. So we're now up to 190 watts. So that's now saying we're going to get about 3 hours if we're charging at that rate. And I tested this out with a bunch of appliances. Like I said, it does have a bunch of safety features, which is huge. I was charging, or not charging, sorry. I was charging the Mavic 3 battery using the SDC. And then I had two plugged into the AC ports, one in each. I had an air fryer and I had a kettle. and the kettle just uses a huge amount of output. And then when I turned on the air fryer, it actually tripped it, right? Because it had gone over the output that this guy, 2400 watts, that's the max output. The battery capacity is 1024 watt hours. So a huge battery, 2400 watts of output, and that's why it tripped on me. I think the kettle on its own was like over 2000 watts. Straight when I put the air fryer in, turned it on, it just tripped. You heard like a tripping sound, and then it disconnected basically. So bunch of safety features in place. You don't have to worry about any issue like that. I can then obviously just disconnect something like this, plug in a USB, and then from here, maybe I want to, you know, put the battery back into the Avata 2, like so. There is a USB-C port here, so I can plug that in. I don't know if it's going to be fully charged or not. Let's see. I know this one needs charging. So we can plug that in like so, and we've got that one charging as well. So we've now got 3 devices charging, cables everywhere, Mavic 3 battery, we've got the Avata 2 batteries with the charging hub, and then we've got the Avata 2 plugged directly in. Like I said, we've got the 2 USB-C, so I've still got a AC port available, I've still got another USB-A, and then 2 USB-C ports available. So huge potential here with the Power 1000. I've shown you the SDC, which is the proprietary charging options from DJI. So this works on all sorts of drones, and it is a fast charging option, right? So it gives you the option to charge up batteries a lot faster than you would be able to with any other output, which is phenomenal. Only takes 17 minutes to charge up the unit itself, which is great. There are also a bunch of safety precautions in place here. They have given it a rating of 4,000 cycle uses. So that's approximately 10 years. We've got 2 USB-C outputs. Now, both of them are 140 watt USB-C outputs. So that's huge, right? A total of 280 watts for seamless use with the USB-C port equipped devices. So that's huge right there, especially because a lot of devices now are USB-C. So to get that fast charging option through the USB-C ports is huge. Some examples on DJI's website. It does have a large 1024 watt hour power supply. You can charge multiple devices, and on DJI's website, they've got some cool stats here. So we've got an electric fan can run for 9 hours, coffee machine, 55 minutes, camping light, you can charge it up 32 times, car refrigerator, 19 hours, projector, 9.2 hours. So this would be great if you want to do some form of like a perfect date idea, right? Take your projector out, plug it in to the Power 1000, project it onto some trees. You got 9.2 hours. That is a huge movie session. Mobile phone, approximately 57 times as well. So that's huge right there. Digital camera, 59 times. Drone, 1.2 hours. The Power 1000 also supports solar charging, so you will have to get some solar panels, which I didn't get with this setup. But once you've got that set up, you can utilize solar charging. So again, camping situations, fishing, rural areas, you can have this set up, you can have the solar panel set up, and it's just going to keep powering the unit. For a lot of people, maybe a little bit overkill, you do have the 500 for that, obviously, the DJI Power 500. I love the design of it. It's sturdy, heavy duty. You've got 2 fans on either side, so 1 fan on each side, and you very rarely hear them. Like, it's not, I can't even hear it. It's not producing really any heat. I've left it on for such an extended period of time, and it never really kicks in. It was only when I had the kettle running, it's only when I was charging, powering the fridge, or when I was, you know, powering the microwave or whatever it may be. You know, I think I had the air fryer, like I said. Something like that that's got a lot more output, that's where you'll notice it's going to kick in, right? And you're going to hear the fans. But even then, I had it running for a while. It didn't get too hot, didn't really make too much noise. Right now, we're charging 3 separate devices. Yeah, the output's gone down because I think a few things have charged up now pretty quickly. The battery hub's charged now, so we've only got an output now of 60 watts, but still, it's quiet, doesn't get hot, very efficient. You've got a nice clean interface that just gives you the basics, right? The basics that you need to see when you're charging up your devices. It is quite a heavy unit. It does have 2 handles either side, which I promise you is very handy. You definitely need those because it can be quite a heavy unit. If you're hefting it around everywhere, it just starts to become a little bit too heavy, I would say. Let's cover some of the key specs, some of the key features here, just so you're aware of what you're getting into. And I'll just compare it to the Power 500 compared to the Power 1000. So the Power 500 has a capacity of 512 watt hours, where the Power 1000 has a capacity of 1024 watt hours. So you can see a huge jump there. It's double the capacity. When it comes to the max output, the Power 500 has got 1000 watts for the max output, and then the Power 1000 is up to 2400 watt hours. Watts. So that's huge if you want to, like I said, charge or power a bunch of appliances and accessories around the house, at a camping ground, wherever it may be. Ideal, right? That's where the Power 500 is going to be quite limited for you. In terms of weight, the 500 weighs in at 7.3 kilograms, where this big boy here is 13 kilograms. So yeah, significantly heavier. You do get the two handles on the side, which is very nice, but it is a heavy unit. Keep that in mind. 13 kilograms is quite heavy. So 4,000 cycles on both the Power 500 and the Power 1000 here. So both getting 4,000 cycles. With the Power 500, the USB-C ports here, which are two-way USB-C ports, which is great. It's 100 watts on the Power 500 and 140 watts. So that's another upgrade here with the Power 1000. So an extra 40 watts for the output on the USB-C ports here, which is huge if you want that extra wattage. So the Power 500 does actually support power in via the USB-C ports. So that would mean, I would imagine, that it's charging up the device on the Power 500. On the Power 1000, it does not. So I can't plug in USB-Cs here and power the Power 1000. So just keep that in mind. Obviously the 500 is significantly smaller, but that could be quite a nice benefit for a few people out there. The solar panels, so the max you can get on the 500 is 3. It can support up to 3 solar panels. On the 1000 can support up to 6 solar panels. So that's huge if you want the solar paneled option. I think it's a very clear distinction. Like if you want the 500, you know that the 1000 is too much for you. And if you want the 1000, you know that the 500 is not enough for you. For me, I know that the 500 would be enough for me. For me, going out, charging up my drones when I'm out with someone, maybe I'm out with a friend, just gives us both the option to charge up our devices. That's ideal. I really don't need to be powering a bunch of accessories. I don't go camping. I don't really kind of do those rural trips. Maybe later on it could be beneficial if I do a huge road trip and maybe I want something like that, ideal. But for the people that are regularly, like every weekend, every couple of weekends, going out camping, this is the one clearly to get for you. Now, the only other thing would be the max solar power input. So it's 300 watts on the 500 and it's 800 watts on the Power 1000. I think the theme here is just figuring out what your needs are, what you would be using this for. The 1000 is phenomenal and is going to be great for a lot of those heavy duty users, people who are exploring a lot. You're absolutely gonna love it. The 500 is going to do the job for most people. It's been a pleasure though to test out the 1000 and just see what it's capable of doing. I love how many ports we have available to us. I love how fast it charges. Even the interface here is just clean. It's simple, but it's clean, right? It gives you all the information you need. I think it's already just charged up the Mavic 3 battery there, so the output's now gone down to 9. The percentage is at 72%, so I've got heaps of juice. Can keep charging things until my heart is content, which might never happen, but it's there. So check it out. If you're into the 500, if you're into the 1000, I'll have all of that linked below. So definitely check that out. I'd love your thoughts. If you've got one of these, I'd love to know how you go with it. And I will chat to you in the next video. I appreciate all your support. Peace.